Hi, in this video you're going to learn about Word document views. You're going to learn about the best uses for each view, how to switch to and from the various views, and how to best utilize the views for each of your documents. Before we get started, I want to let you know that I'm using Office 365 Word 2019 for this video. However, much of the information pertains to Office 2016 as well. Word gives you 5 different views for your document. You have Read Mode, Print Layout, Web Layout, Outline, and Draft. The view you utilize may vary for each of your documents depending on what you're working on. The various views can be changed from the View tab, Views group, and then you've got your 5 views, or some of them can be changed from your status bar. The Open Book is the Read Mode, and you've got Print Layout, and you've got Web View. Now, one of the things you'll notice if you had been previously on an earlier version of Word is that Draft View is no longer available on the status bar. So you can get that from the View tab, Views group, and get Draft from here. Or one of the things that you can do is you can add it to your Quick Access Toolbar. One of the ways that you can add it to your Quick Access Toolbar is to go to the View tab, come over to the Views group, and do a right-click on Draft View. Once you do a right-click on it, you can add it to the Quick Access Toolbar, and now we'll see that it's up here. And you can do that with any of the views to make it easier to get to them, so you don't have to either go to the status bar or to go to the Views tab to get them. So we're going to begin by going over the Read Mode view. So I've switched to my sample document. Now I'm just going to come down here to the status bar and click on the Open Book, which is the Read Mode. When I do that, it's going to switch it over so that I see the document much like it would appear in a book. Okay? So if you've got a document and you need to just read the document, or you want to focus on information within the document, this would be a good way for you to do that through Read Mode. I can use my scroll bars on the side to scroll up and down. When you're in Read Mode, you have various options available in the upper left. We have our Tools options and our View options. And we're going to start by going over the Tools options. So if I click on the Tools button, it's going to give me the various options that are available for tools. And the first one is Find. So if I'm reading my document and I want to find specific information within it, I can use the Find from here. When I click on Find, it's going to bring up my navigation pane, and this is similar to if you're in the Print Layout view. And from here, I can type in my search. So if I want to find Read Mode, as soon as I type it in, it's going to pull up my results. And you can see below the search, I've got 5 results. If I come over to the Results button, it's going to give me a snippet of each of those results. And I can click on them to go through them within the document. And you'll notice in the document it highlights them so that I can see exactly where it is on the page. I can also use the up and down arrows to scroll through the results as well. While we're here, I want to show you a couple other options that are available on the navigation pane since we have it open. We've got our Headings button. When I click on that, it's going to give me, if I'm using styles within my document, all the headings so I can navigate through my document that way as well. So I could come down here and look at the outline view. I can also shrink up my headings so that I only see the main headings if I want to quickly peruse those headings as well. So it gives me an ability to navigate quickly through the document. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clear out my search, and I'm going to come over to the Pages button. And what the Pages button is, it gives me a thumbprint or a thumbnail of each of the pages so that I could quickly peruse through the different pages on the document and see my information that way as well. So we've got our headings, pages, and then again, the results will give me the results of whatever I've typed in for my search. Let's go ahead and close out the navigation pane so we're back to just our document. Let's come back up to Tools, and our next is our Smart Lookup. And this works just the way it does when you're in a regular document in your Print Layout view. When I click on it, it's going to bring up my Smart Lookup and allow me to do searches on Bing for whatever I've highlighted within my document. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of that. Come back up to Tools. Our next one is Translate, where we can translate our text into a different language if we wanted. We also have the ability to do inking. I click on my arrow, I can do colors, change the thickness. So if I wanted to come in and I want to make some highlights or make notations within the document that I'm reviewing, I could do that as well. Now our next button down is Undo Expand Heading. If we come over here and we look at our document, you'll see that we've got these little corners by various information within our document. If I click on the corner, it's going to give me an arrow, and what it's done is it's shrunk all of my headings up. So this is an expand, and this arrow is a shrink. So I can shrink up depending on what I've clicked on, my various headings. Now again, this is if I've used heading styles within my document. So if I come over to Tools, and I can undo my collapse that way, or I can just click on the arrows to do it as well. And I've got my redo collapse. So as I'm working within it, I could either come over here or I can just use my arrows to do both functions. Another option that we have available, which makes it easy when you're reading your document if you only want to read certain information and you don't want to see the clutter of the other information within your document. Next, we are going to come over and we're going to click on the View button. When you click on the View button, it will give you all the options that are available when you're viewing your document. The first one is Edit. This will switch you back to Print Layout View so you can edit your document. Okay, it's the same as coming down here to the status bar and clicking on the Print Layout icon. Focus. Focus allows you to eliminate all the other distractions within the document so that you are just looking at the document information itself. So when you click on Focus, what it does is it gets rid of everything else. You can see my heading bar at the top is gone, my status bar is gone, and my background is gone. So all I really see is my document. If I hover at the top, I can get back my View buttons so that I can come back in and I can turn it off. If we come back up and we click on our View button again, we have our navigation pane, and it's another way to get it turned on so that you don't have to come over and click Find to be able to get to your headings and get to your results. We'll go ahead and close it. Show comments. If there are comments within your document, it would show them here within the Read pane so that we could look at any comments that somebody had put within the document. So if I don't turn on this button and I scroll through my document, and there are comments within it, you'll see it with the comment icon. If I click on this, it will quickly show me the comment. Another way to see the comments is to come back up with the View and click the Show Comments, and then it's going to open up a side panel on here so that we can scroll through and see all the comments without having to click on them. This is a toggle button, so we'll come back over to View and click Show Comments to turn it off. So that way, if I am reading the document and I want to see people's comments about what they think should be added to the document, taken off, or what they think about the information within the document, I can toggle that on so that I don't have to click on each comment to read them. And you'll see that the column width and paper color are grayed out. That's because I'm not using that type of layout. So if I come over here to Layout and I switch it to a column layout, I can see my document in columns. Now if I come over here and go to column width, I can switch it to narrow, default, or wide. And this sets it to how you want to view your document. So if I wanted to view my document in columns so I could read it more quickly, I could do that as well. So for instance, if I switch it to narrow, I can see all of my information scrolling from column to column. Default sets it up within the 2 columns. Wide takes me back so I have 1 column of my information. Now before I switch it back to our regular view, I want to show you one other option in here. If we click the View button again and we come down to color, which is no longer grayed out, you can see right now I've got it set to what's called the less bright color. If I switch to none, it's going to change it to white. Inverse will switch it to black. So whatever is easier for you to read. Now, me personally, for my color, I like to have it set on this one, which is the less bright. So I'm going to click my View button again, and I'm going to come over to Layout, and I'm going to switch it back to my paper layout. And this takes me back to my regular document within read mode. Come back to view again, syllables. This will show the break between the syllables within the words. So if I toggle this on, you can see it breaks up each word based upon the syllables within the words. I toggle that off. Text spacing. I can set it so that it looks more like my page layout view. Or I can come back in and I can space out the words. So if it's easier for me to read it when I've got more the information spread out, or if I'm going to be making notations on it, this may be the way I want to look at it. But it's up to you. And again, that's in view. I can toggle that off and it switches it back. Read aloud.
Switch to web layout view.
Does just that.
Click tab, then
it's going to read the document to you. That's a great feature for people who have problems reading documents because of their eyesight. So those are all of the view features. And again, that has to do with how you view the document. Our tools gives us the ability to do things to the document while we're in read mode. So from here, we're going to switch to another view. We're going to go over to our print layout view. So to exit out of here, I'm just going to come down to the status bar and click on the print layout icon. And again, remember, I can come over to view and click edit document as well, and it takes me over there. Go back, and I can come down here and click on print layout and switch. Either one is going to take you over to it. So I'm going to go ahead and close that out. Print layout mode is the common mode for working within your document. If you're creating new documents, if you're doing extensive editing and things like that, you're going to focus it within print layout for that. What I want to do now is switch you over to the web layout view. Again, view, views group, web layout, or I can come down to the status bar and click the web layout icon. And you'll see it changes the way the document looks. This view is best utilized to edit and create a document to be saved as a web page. In this view, you can see the background, text is wrapped to fit the window, and images appear as they would online. I've still got my ability to do my editing and things just like I would in print layout view, but I'm viewing it like it would as a web page. And now I want to switch you over to the outline view. Outline is not available on the status bar, so we're going to come up here to the View tab, Views Group, Outline. And again, if it's something that you use a lot and you don't want to have to come to the tab all the time, do a right click on it and add it to your Quick Access Toolbar. And now I have it available up here as well, and I could click on it. So we'll click on Outline, and you're going to see the document, and it's going to show you, if I click on the border here and drag it, the styles used within the document. This view is best utilized to move sections of your document or when you're working with outlines. In this view, you can see that it's displayed as an outline and the outline tools are available. So if we come up here to our tabs, you're going to see outlining. Okay, and I'm going to go over all the options that are available on here so that you can see how they all work. And then again, this is great if you're working on a large document and you've got a lot of styles in it and you need to move sections around to make sure you grab everything, or you can expand and shrink information as you're looking at it and editing as well. One thing that you'll note, it does not show you any images. So for instance, where I had images here, you do not see them anymore. Now, before we get started going over all the options that are available within the outline, I want to focus a little bit more on this area over here. This is called the Display Style Area pane. And as I showed you, if I put my mouse on the border on the right, I get a double arrow where I can shrink the area or I can drag it to expand it. If you switch to outline view and you do not see this, you can go ahead and turn this option on. Okay, so now to turn on that option, what we're going to do is come over here to the File tab, to go to Backstage. We're going to come down to Options. It's going to bring up the word Options, and we're going to come down and click on the Advanced button, and then we're going to scroll down until we get to the Display area, where it says Style Area Pane Width in Draft and Outline Views. This is where we set it. So if I want to set it so that the default is always a certain size, I can do that. So let's say I want to set it to 2. Say OK. And now I've got it set to 2 inches when I'm working within my document. So let's go ahead and go over the information here at the top. I'm just going to come down in the document and I'm going to click within one of my headings so that as I'm doing things, you can see how it changes. So if we start at the top here, let's take a look at our expand and our collapse. So this will either expand or collapse our selected area. Now I've already got it expanded, so I'm going to click the minus and collapse it. Click the plus to expand it. My up and down arrows will allow me to move my selection either up or down within the document. So this is where it becomes handy if I've got a whole section that I want to move, instead of highlighting it all. And when you do it within the print layout view, a lot of times you'll do a right click and you'll do a cut, and then you'll scroll to where you want it and you'll do a right click and you'll do the paste. This way I can take the information and I can move it using the arrow so I can see what it's going to look like as I'm moving it within my document. Show level, if I set this, it will only show a certain level within my document. Now if I come below the show level, I have an option, show text formatting, which is checked. And that's going to show it just like it would within my document. If I turn it off, it shows it just as straight text. I like to use the feature turned on so that I can actually see what it's going to look like within my document. If I'm doing just a lot of moving around or changing of what level things are, maybe I don't want to see all the text, and I can tell it to just show the first line only so that it's a little bit easier to navigate through the document. These two again are just toggle buttons, check to turn on and uncheck to turn off. Now if I come over here to the left, I've got promote to heading 1, which is the double arrow. So the heading that I have highlighted, if I wanted to promote that to heading 1, click on it and it promotes it to heading 1. And you can see down here that it has switched it and now it's a heading 1. I can demote it and keep demoting it until I get it to the level I want, or I can demote it all the way down to the final level, which is body text. So the left arrows promote, the right arrows demote. Or I can come over here and switch it to whatever level I want as well. I like to use the arrows because then I can see as I'm moving it through the document if things are lining up as I'm going down. So those are my outline tools. If I come over to master document, if I have sub-documents within the document, I could collapse those or I could show those documents as well from over here. And when I'm done working in the outline view, I have a button here to close the outline view. And this is going to return me to my print layout. Or I can come down to my status bar and switch as well, or come over to my view and switch to print layout. Or if I've added them up here on my quick access toolbar, I could switch to it as well. Oh, before we move on, one thing that I had forgotten about are my little circles over here. If I click on the plus here, it's going to highlight the heading and all of the subs. If I click on the hollow circle, it's just going to highlight that text. So this is great when we're moving information around or if I need to delete information out of the document. Again, that's just using the circles. Select. Come down here and select as well. And you can see it's higher over here because I had a picture there, so it's going to select that. I had that with that as well. And then click anywhere to unselect it. So let's go ahead and move on to our last view, which is the draft view. Now remember that view is not available on the status bar, so I'm either going to come up here to my quick access toolbar where I added it, or I can come over to the view tab and click draft. This view only shows the basics so that you can quickly edit the document. Certain elements of the document, such as headers and footers, are not available in this view. However, you can see that you can have on here the style area pane, which is really helpful if your document has a lot of styles in it, because when you're editing a document, you need to be very careful with the styles. Remember, if you don't see the style area pane over here, all you need to do is go to File, Options, Advanced. We're going to scroll down until we see the display area, Style area pane width in draft and outline views, and this is where you set it. Once you set it to the size you want, click OK, and you've got it. Once you have it here, remember, if you come over to the right border, get the double arrow, you can make it whatever size you want just by clicking and dragging the border. So those are the various views that are available within your document. You have the read mode, print layout, web layout, outline, and draft. Some of your views are available on the status bar. All of your views are available on the View tab, Views group, and you can get to them here. You can also add them up here to your Quick Access Toolbar, or if you've got yours below your tabs, you can add them down here. Remember, to add it to your Quick Access Toolbar, do a right click, Add to Quick Access Toolbar. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Please also, if you find this information useful, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.